the most common questions we hear from pilgrims is, which Camino should I walk, the Francés or the Portuguese? Well, today we're going to be comparing the last 100 kilometers of each route.
And to make things interesting, we have a set of questions that we haven't seen yet, and we'll be opening them on the camera and answering them for the first time with you. So let's get started.
All right, let's do it. All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. In one sentence each, how would you describe the personality of the Francés and the Portuguese?
So I have one sentence to describe the Portuguese first, the spiritual variant. In one sentence, the personality of the Francés would be, to me, family. Personality, the Camino family, yes.
I actually agree with you on both. I mean, the Camino family on the Francés is really something special, and we didn't have that on the Portuguese. And then the spiritual variant of the Portuguese was that is the heart of the trail, and it's something you can't miss if you're going to do the Portuguese. Yeah.
Which route feels more varied day to day?
I would say that that's a tough one. I feel like the last 100 kilometers of both the Portuguese and the Francés have a very similar feeling to each day. So I would say there really isn't a big change.
They're equally great to me.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Wow, look at us. We're agreeing.
All right.
Okay. Next question. Which route has more memorable landscapes or viewpoints? And remember, the last 100 kilometers.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
For me, start in Tui.
But why?
The Francés, let me just tell you, when we walked in, it was a lot through the city. I remember that, and it was raining, but
it was raining on both.
Yeah, it was.
I think which route is more memorable landscapes, had more memorable landscapes and viewpoints. It's the Portuguese because of the spiritual variant. That is the viewpoints and the landscape of that specifically was what did it for me in terms of that question.
All right,
we're going to another spot.
Woo, this is hard. Which route is physically harder in the last kilometers, 100 kilometers?
Yeah, I think the last 100 kilometers, they're both about the same. All the elevation is before that. So that's my answer. How about you? What do you think?
I agree.
I can't believe we're agreeing on so much. All right, who's next?
If someone is worried about fitness, which route would feel more manageable?
Fitness level. That kind of talks to terrain and elevation, and I feel like that last 100 kilometers is not bad. Any section for either the Francés or the Portuguese are very similar.
And to me, I had time to think about it. Again, I have to bring the weather in. It could be really hot. That would be hard. Yeah. It could be rainy. It could be perfect. That could be challenging for me and has been on my physical level.
That definitely is a factor. Which routes have better towns to stay in overnight?
That's a hard question. I think they were more memorable on the Francés.
So that's a good way of putting it. I think the ones on the Francés were more memorable. Gonzar just stands out to both of us. It's an off stage, and it was just the coolest little town. I just feel like the towns and Palos del Rey, and there was some really ones. There was some like one that I can't remember the name of it. Wasn't that great, but yeah, Francés was better. One.
Which route has better food experiences?
Every time I saw a menu, it was the same menu over and over again.
Menu.
Well, or whatever you get to choose. Any of the little restaurants you'd go to be the same exact menu. One didn't have it better than the other, except I feel like we had more pulpo on the Francés, and we like pulpo.
And it was the same kind of pulpo.
Yeah.
It was always in that spice. You couldn't get it different.
Which route has more interesting stops along the way?
It's okay. It'll give me time to think. Oh boy. Geez, you know what? You have to go back to the Portuguese. I believe the Portuguese. Again, the spiritual variant. Tui, very interesting route.
I liked the spiritual variant the best for that last 100 kilometers on the Portuguese. But I think I like the towns that we stopped in and that we explored better on the Francés. But I did like Tui, which is the beginning of the Portuguese. So a little bit of both.
All right. Which route feels more social with other pilgrims?
Oh, the Francés.
Yes.
Definitely the Francés. We had such a great community, great families. We still are in touch with people. We loved that. I mean, I personally loved that. I loved having all those.
I agree. The Francés, I think there were more people too.
We were walking during a busier month versus
But I think in general, there's more people, more that you maybe hook with to develop the family.
Yeah.
Get along with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which route feels more peaceful or quiet?
Oh, Portuguese.
That just brings me back again to the spiritual variant. I think if we didn't do the spiritual variant, the Portuguese would not be ranking as high, at least personally.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Okay, let's go take
on.
a walk.
Let's go. Which route feels more spiritual or reflective?
Oh my God. Well, you know, I feel like we're a broken record here. The Portuguese spiritual variant.
The spiritual variant. Now, there were a lot of people that weren't going to do the spiritual variant.
Yeah, I think
Because
if they're
of the
watching our
rain.
video, they might
Yes.
do it.
I might think twice.
Which route is easier to plan for someone walking just the last 100 kilometers? Anne-Marie?
Easier to plan. Well, you're the planner, but the Francés. A
Why?
lot more accommodations, options, well-traveled.
There is a lot of information for both routes. There was more information available for the Francés.
Which route has better infrastructures?
Infrastructure?
Like cafes,
Uh-huh.
albergues,
Okay. And
and
services.
services.
They are both set up really well for pilgrims.
I would say Francés is a pretty good bet for all times of the year.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Which route would be better for a first-time pilgrim?
Overall, Francés. Ding ding.
All right. Based upon my experience on them, I
Yeah.
would say the better route for a first-time pilgrim is the Francés. It's the original one that everybody reads about and hears about. I think the pilgrim community is amazing. People are really excited. I think that there's more people, but I personally loved communal spirit that where we're all doing this together, and walking into Santiago with the bagpipers is just amazing.
What is something that surprised you about the last 100 kilometers of the Francés? Okay, I'll go. I didn't know exactly where the bagpipers would be. I knew it would be coming in somewhere in Santiago. You might have known more. That surprised me, and it was very spiritual.
The eucalyptus. And I didn't expect to smell so much eucalyptus, and that
good.
was amazing.
That's good.
That's not something you plan. It's not like planning your route or where to stay. It
Yeah.
was a
That's good.
sensation.
Good one.
What is, we knew this was coming, given the last question. What is something that surprised you about the last 100 kilometers of the Portuguese?
He had a lot to say. The route coming in to Santiago, I didn't know where we were going to come in. It surprised me. We're on the other side of the cathedral.
For me, it was that first town in the spiritual variant on the water, Combaro. which was
the witches.
which was so cute. We didn't think there was going to be anything there. No restaurants. So the fact that this town was just so quaint and beautiful and places to eat, and it was just a seaside village, that was probably my surprise.
Yep. What is something people get wrong about either of the routes?
Doing the Portuguese without doing the spiritual variant.
How about the Francés? What do they
For
get
either,
wrong?
what do they get wrong about the Francés? Not staying in off stages.
I agree.
All right. Oh no. Get ready for the rapid fire round. 1 sentence answers. Best wine.
Francés. Better coffee. Portuguese
Francés.
or the Francés?
Francés.
Yep.
Better churches or historical sites. Better churches on the Francés. Better historical sites on the Portuguese.
Better pilgrim community.
Francés.
I agree. Better overall atmosphere.
Francés. What do you
I like the
think?
Portugal.
All right.
I do.
Oh, okay. We're done with rapid fire. Whew. Okay. And now it's time to try and choose our final decision. Francés.
So that helps.
I would say the Francés.
Again.
And I want to go back and walk it again.
Francés. Yes.
Francés.
Yes. That's our answer. We're sticking to it.
Over the days after we filmed our original answers, we found ourselves really thinking a lot more about both routes, and we even went back and rewatched the videos from the last 100 kilometers of each of them.
Did you change your mind, or are you sticking with the Camino Francés?
I actually did a lot of thinking, and I am going to change my answer to the Portuguese.
And I'm going to change my mind in my answer to the Portuguese as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I initially chose the Francés because I was having a hard time separating the entire Camino versus just the 100 kilometers at the end.
Me too. And also the weather, the Portuguese, it rained so much on us. It was cold and miserable, and that really impacted my memory.
Sure did.
Yeah. Both routes offer all the classic Camino things like historic churches, shrines, your favorite,
eucalyptus forests,
Roman bridges, but the last 100 kilometers of the Portuguese just felt just more diverse, but specifically because of the spiritual variant.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. We think alike. To do the last 100 kilometers of Portuguese, you just have to build in a couple extra days for that spiritual variant. It's a must.
We also wanted to correct our answer to this question. Which route has more elevation or challenging terrain?
We realized there was actually a difference. And the Francés has more of a gradual elevation change, where the Portuguese had those shorter but steeper sections. So it did feel harder, but I think overall, if you were to compare them, they'd be similar. It's just those little steep segments that made it feel a little bit harder.
Great views at the top.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Plot twist, we both switched. So thanks for sticking around to the very end of our video, and we hope this video has helped you figure out which one you will walk first, because we know that once you walk one, you're going to want to walk another one. So Sisters to Santiago signing out, really, this time. And
adios.
And look for us soon, because we'll be back on the trail in a few more months.
Cut again.